go again.
My love.
2023's Layers of Fear is a piece of art. With every turn, every file, every story, Layers of Fear hands us a blank canvas and guides our terrified little hands as we paint, unveiling the truth and grief each character suffers. From that opening alone, I hope I painted a clear picture of how I feel about this game. I had a fantastic experience and it left me taking second glances through my own home. I had the other two released games on my games library and I, for some reason, didn't play them, but I'm so glad I didn't. Not that I didn't want to, the second one in particular was on my to-be-played list for about a year due to Gun Interactive taking part in the development. But this new title gives us the definitive experience when it comes to playing Layers of Fear. Today, I'm going to be giving you my spoiler-free review of Layers of Fear. If you haven't already, drop a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on videos like this in the future. I went into this game blind, so I assumed this was just another sequel, but no. This is both a remake and an original story entirely. You, of course, get to experience the original two games, but they serve an overarching narrative that connects them all. Not to mention a couple little extra pieces of content as well. The story focuses on three creative individuals: a writer, an artist, and an actor. Each of these characters have their own demons, and that makes total sense. It's known that creating can be therapeutic for redeeming our inner demons. But this game proves to not always be the case. These characters are successful in their own field, but are struggling deeply from their past. The writer's story in particular shows she's struggling to the point you, as the player, can't judge whether what the writer is doing or experiencing is real or not. But that's neither here nor there. Without delving into spoiler territory, I'm going to give you the basic breakdown of each character and what they go through. Starting with the writer, you learn she won a trip to stay at a lighthouse in a writing contest 10 years back, and now she's returned to hopefully get inspired to write again. In the beginning, she sounds excited about the possibilities of this lighthouse being haunted, but the more you spend time with her, the more you see that excitement start to diminish. Understandably so, I would absolutely piss myself silly if I was in a vacant lighthouse, let alone a haunted vacant lighthouse. The artist is a painter working on his great magnum opus. As you walk through his home, you find things have been going downhill while working on his art. He just couldn't finish the damn thing. His art wasn't just driving himself mad, but his family as well. You uncover terrible truths about a tragedy that happened inside the house that sends the artist spiraling into complete madness, to the point I was on edge the entire walkthrough of the story. Something about the house terrified me to the point my wife was walking to the kitchen to get a drink of water and I jumped out of my chair. I just felt unsafe, and for good reason. The artist is haunted by something more than the past, but something else entirely that continuously reminds him of just how bad he failed. We also follow the story of the actor. This character is the only character in the game that has a name. James is an actor in the 1940s and is currently shooting a film aboard a cruise ship. You hear the inner monologue in the form of the actor's director, who is masterfully voiced by Tony Todd, I may add. I absolutely love him.
You choose to go deeper. You cannot have it. You can never have it.
Carrying on though, you explore the cruise line and find that James is also battling demons of a traumatic past in his childhood. On one hand, this story was scary, but more beautiful at the same time. I felt for James as a child as he went through mental and possibly physical abuse. At the same time, you also see the beauty in film and how film can influence and inspire someone's life. Like I said before, this Layers of Fear is a remake of the first two games and something else altogether. The story of the artist is the first Layers of Fear and the story of the actor is the sequel. After the sequel released in 2019, there was many speculation on whether these games were connected or not, and this one confirms just that in a unique way. Each original game are stories that the writer is working on. As she's in the lighthouse, she is confronted by an entity called the Rat Queen. The demonic force offers to be a muse to the writer in helping her get through the writer's block and creating the art she was meant to write about. The scary part about the Rat Queen is her involvement in each of these characters' lives, as she states to the writer that the stories she's writing about actually happened. Or did it? The gameplay was simplistic at surface level, and that was okay. I didn't play this game for the gameplay, and I don't think that's the point in Layers of Fear. The point is story and living through the personal hell these characters are suffering within, and it did just that. The puzzles were entertaining and satisfying, and the jump scares were at times generic but also tasteful in the way I like my jump scares. They're not doing anything new in terms of scares to the horror genre, and that's okay. They're using what we've already seen to progress the narrative. In the artist scenario in particular, I was playing for over 2 hours before I even came face to face with that story's antagonist, and it honestly scared me even more. I wasn't expecting it to be an actual life or death situation, and it got me. And can we just sit and appreciate the graphics for a moment? Look at how beautiful this game is. Unreal Engine 5 worked wonders on this game to the point where I couldn't stop taking screenshots of the game. I have over 30 photos on my camera roll just of Layers of Fear. Here I am trying to progress and unravel the mystery of these tormented characters, and I'm stopping to get a damn screenshot. The best part of all this is the replay value. Each story has several endings, and even if you get the true ending of the games, it's truly all up to interpretation on what it means to you as the player. I both like and dislike that with stories. I can respect the idea of being able to speak what the ending means to me, but I also like definitive endings, which leads to my one true gripe about the game. As far as I'm aware, the ending to this game is the only actual ending to the whole game, and it ends in uncertainty. As much as I loved the game, I wanted to know what happened, and as much as I'd love to explain what I mean, I can't due to this being spoiler-free. If you want more depth on what I'm talking about, leave a comment down below, and if I see enough responses on this, I will make a video specific to this ending. This is the only way I can explain what I mean in a spoiler-free answer. I feel there's more to the story to be told. Does that mean there are secret endings hidden in the game, or another game in the works to tell this? Only time will tell. Layers of Fear is a nightmare-induced thrill ride that puts you in the mind of disturbed creatives. We see how their psyche completely tortures them and uses grief as a punishment as they go through an Ouroboros, an infinite cycle of pain and horror. Hell on replay. With each file you read, you find the truth to each character's grief, but throughout, you also find just how in control they actually were. Was it all their doing that caused their grief, or was there a higher being that helped manipulate the outcomes? Who knows for sure, but what I do know is the grade I give Layers of Fear, and that's an A. I don't care what others say, this game is beautiful. Psychological horror told as well as this gives you so many opportunities for storytelling, and they use the psyche to the max and shows just how messed up your mind can get. Layers of Fear is nightmares through art. Have you all played Layers of Fear? If you haven't, I highly recommend you do, and let me know how you liked it. Remember to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so you don't miss out on any videos like this in the future. And until next time, take it easy, bubs.